The driver we sent to pick you up told you a joke.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell it now on the show.
Yeah, that's how I get a lot of my material.
Okay. Why don't we just have him on next time?
That guy. No, wait till you hear me do it.
We regard you as the top of the heap, the best of the best, the funniest of the funny, the guy who has it in every fiber of his being, not conjured. It's the real thing.
First of all, you are the man. You are my comedy choice. Whenever I'm looking for something on YouTube or whatever it is, Norm's always my first comedy choice.
But I really think that in comedy particularly, the originals stand out the most, and they stay with us long after they're gone. And there was no one more original than Norm Macdonald. Yeah. Yeah. There was no one who did his style. There was no one who had his rhythms. He was remarkable and so kind and funny. Yeah.
Okay.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office, all right?
You are correct. A moth goes into a podiatrist's office, and the podiatrist's office says, "What's the problem?" And the moth says, "What's the problem? Where do I begin, man?" He goes, "I go to work for Gregory Olinovich, and all day long I work." The only country that really worries me is the country of Germany. I don't know if you guys are history buffs or not, but in the early part of the previous century, Germany decided to go to war. And who did they go to war with? The world. That had never been tried before. And so you figure that would take about 5 seconds for the world to win, but no, it was actually close.
Macdonald, God bless you. Watching your set was like watching Henry Fonda pick blueberries. What's that? Oh, he wants to say something.
No, I just think it would be why, I don't think there's a person in here that would not love to watch Henry Fonda pick blueberries. And my other boy. And this is the hardest pill to swallow, Doc. My other boy, Gregorio Ivanilovich. I no longer love him.
And in a related story, this week marked the 5,000th performance of the Broadway musical Cats. It also marked the 5,000th time a guy turned to his wife and said, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, well, things could be worse, you know. I could have got my nose bit off by a Saigon whore.
You bastard!
I see right in the bottom of the bar area, there's a shoebox with a turtle in it.
From where? What is that doing there?
What? I was gonna give it as a gift to my nephew.
Okay, all right.
He wanted a turtle, and I said, I'll get him a turtle. That'll be a good gift. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... 'Twas the night before Christmas. Wait, 'twas? What's 'twas? Is that short for it was? What kind of rush are you in, man? You can't just say it was. Oh, you saved a lot of time there, fella. Oh, don't come at me with that it was stuff. I got things to do. Got to get down to the donut shop. If only the cowardice was stronger, then perhaps I could bring myself to reach over to that cocked and loaded gun that lays on the bedside behind me and end this hellish facade once and for all.
How long a drive was this?
The only guy I can really do is Richard Nixon. And Richard Nixon goes, well, I suppose you could say they were wearing listening devices, or perhaps you'd call them hearing devices. And wigs. Let me ask you this. Did you ever toss a prostitute off a bridge?
What's the punchline?
No, So John Fogerty was there. So Bob Euchre's a very interesting guy. He thinks of everybody as the same. He doesn't think of people as stars or anything like that. He's a very down-to-earth guy. So he was talking to me, and he says, "Hey, man, you know that guy?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "That's John Fogerty, rock and roll singer." So I go, yeah, I know who it is. He goes, "Yeah, man." He goes, "But I played in a golf tournament with him." He goes, "You probably think of him as some that likes to bite the heads off of chickens, but this guy can."
But what's the movie going to be called? Really?
I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
And one of the things I remember most about Norm is I would start laughing the minute he came out of the curtain. So I'd say, "Ladies and gentlemen, Norm Macdonald," and he would come out, and he had this look in his eye, this glint in his eye, and I was laughing before he said anything. And I will attest, and you will back me up on this. Both of you can back me up on this. I have always said to people, if you want to really see me laugh, and this is long before Norm passed, if you really want to see what it looks like when I am laughing, watch a Norm Macdonald segment, because I have my hands on my belly, which I think might be my tell. Like I put my hands on my stomach, and I would have my hands on my stomach sometimes just as Norm is coming out around the curtain, and I see that crazy look in his eye and that insane grin that he had with those sort of like round apple cheeks.
He's like a mischievous kid.
He was a mischievous kid, and he was out to cause trouble. Andy, you said something once, which was, and I always remembered it. It was after a Norm segment, and Norm had annihilated. He had done really well, as he always did. And you said to me, that guy doesn't care in a way that frightens me.
And it was a 20-second joke. So he asked you, how long is the segment? And he was hoping you'd say 20 seconds.
Right.
But you said 7 minutes.
Yep.
So it became a 7-minute joke.
Yeah, and he's doing that. This has to be understood. He's doing this on the fly.
Yep.
So his way to slow it down that he came up with on the fly is he invents...
It's a Chekhov play.
It's a Chekhov play.
With Russian names.
With Russian names, and there's a sadness, an ineffable sadness in life weighing on the character's soul. And and I'm thinking, you know, I've never met anybody who would take that chance and make that choice. And I'll never meet anybody like him again.
Just barely hanging on to my web with an everlasting fire underneath me. I'm not feeling good. And so the doctor says, "Moth, man, you're troubled. But you should be seeing a psychiatrist. Why on earth did you come here?" And then the moth said, "Because the light was on." Whereas you kill and then you leave something nice on the stage. You know, it's one thing to make people laugh, it's another to make people smile.